Namah Shivaya. We'll continue with the teachings on the topic of Karma Yoga. And we will see a few teachings from the Bhagavad Gita, which is the main yogic teaching on the topic of Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is what is called yoga of action. Karma means action. And the idea is how to turn action into yoga. Because usually we can find some form of peace and quiet or balance to some extent when we sit on the meditation cushion, when we are doing a yoga class. But then the moment we are interacting with the world, then the mind becomes very disrupted. So Karma Yoga is what Lord Krishna calls in the Bhagavad Gita reconciliation action with knowledge. Knowledge means abiding in the knowledge of who we are, peace, the pervasiveness of the nature of the self, in action, while you are interacting with the world. How to turn every situation while you are interacting with the world, with people, situations, etc., into yoga. That's the meaning. How to turn action as a means to freedom, to knowledge. That's the meaning. Okay, so otherwise, if we can maintain some form of peacefulness and clarity for half an hour a day, and the rest of the time not really, then Swami Brahmananda says the progress is going to be too slow. Okay? So we need to incorporate action into our sadhana. That's the foundation. Karma Yoga is the foundation of all the other yogas. Okay? So the yogis say we first of all need to deal with activity. We need to shift the way we act, we interact with the world. Based on this, devotion will come, meditation will come, and ultimately even knowledge will come. But we must first of all address activity, interactions, relationship, etc. This is the first thing. Right? You see also in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, we see that the first practices are yama and niyama, which are our relationship to people and the world. That's the first thing which must be taken care of for meditation to gradually be built. Okay, so the reason is very simple. The way we perceive other people or the world emerges from how we perceive ourselves. Okay? So it's purely the same thing. We think it's a different thing, but it's not. One of the most important places is chapter 2, which is on the topic of the yoga of knowledge, but has very important teachings on karma yoga or the yoga of action. So we'll read from verse 39 of chapter 2, where Lord Krishna begins a teaching on the topic of karma yoga. So in chapter 2, which is one of the most important chapters, Lord Krishna has 3 teachings. First of all, he teaches Arjuna about knowledge. He calls it the Sankhya Yoga, but actually it means Jnana Yoga, the knowledge of the true nature of the self. Then he's teaching him about Karma Yoga, because he is actually telling him, Arjuna, this is Jnana Yoga, this is the yoga of knowledge, but you need a preliminary practice of Karma Yoga. You are not yet in the place that Jnana Yoga can be a steady vision in your mind. You need to purify your mind. Okay? So therefore you need Karma Yoga. and he gives him the teaching on karma yoga. And then there is a beautiful teaching at the end of chapter 2 on the nature of the liberated sage. So Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna to describe to him a person that is liberated. He's asking very beautifully. He says, how does he talk? How does he walk? So Lord Krishna gives very beautiful characteristics of a person who is a knower of the self. What is the nature of such a person? Lord Krishna gives. So these are the three parts. So we will see some of the verses on the topic of karma yoga. So Lord Krishna says in 39, this which has been taught to thee is wisdom concerning Sankhya, which means until now I taught to you the yoga of knowledge, jnana yoga. Now listen to wisdom concerning yoga, endowed with which, O Arjuna, Arjuna is the disciple of Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna is the teacher, who is actually an incarnation of God, and Arjuna is the disciple, who is a warrior. So he tells him, now listen to wisdom concerning yoga, endowed with which, O Arjuna, you shall cast off the bonds of action. So Lord Krishna tells him, I taught to you until now the wisdom about the true nature of the self. I taught to you jnana, the knowledge. Then he tells him something very beautiful. He tells him, now I'm going to teach you, because the word yoga here means karma yoga. So now he tells him, now I'm going to teach you wisdom concerning karma yoga. So he says that karma yoga is also a yoga that has a wisdom to it. It's not just doing actions. Right? Swami Brahmananda gave the example. He said, karma yoga is not just doing actions in an efficient, focused way. He said, right, look at the bulldozer. Right? The bulldozer is more efficient than a human being. Right? Is the bulldozer a good karma yogi? That's what he said. You understand? So, bulldozer is the machine, huh? Just to make sure that I'm using the right word. Okay, so in any case, so the point is that karma yoga has to do with action, with an inner wisdom, an inner quality. That inner quality which we bring in the karma yoga while we perform the action leads us to freedom. If we act without this inner quality or inner wisdom, action becomes a binding factor for us, which means we will become more and more bound as we act. How do we know bondage? Bondage we know by suffering. We become more and more miserable. Painful emotions, painful thoughts, painful moods, painful situations. This is called bondage. Pain. Okay? So if we perform actions not with the inner wisdom of karma yoga, we will be moving towards bondage. Okay? If we perform action with the inner wisdom of karma yoga, Lord Krishna says, we will be able to break the bondage of karma. This bondage of karma is an extremely important concept within yoga and Vedanta, which we need to understand. So Lord Krishna defines karma yoga. So he says few things here. First of all, he says it's a yoga of action, but it has an inner wisdom to it. You must know the inner wisdom in order to turn action into yoga. That's one thing. Second thing, he says that through karma yoga, you will be able to break the bondage of karma. So we need to know what is the bondage of karma. Now what is the bondage of karma? The bondage of karma is explained as the misery of samsara. Okay? So we need to know what is the misery of samsara. Okay, so basically, what is the misery of samsara? The misery of life. So the suffering that we experience day in and day out is called technically the misery of samsara. Why is there misery? There is bondage in karma. Okay? So basically, the meaning is, if you ask yourself, why am I miserable? Okay? First of all, misery is universal. You don't have to feel bad about being miserable. Okay? And right, Lord Buddha declared the universal truth of suffering. It's universal. It doesn't mean that we don't have happy moments. We definitely do. But there is a pervasive misery everywhere. Everywhere you go, there is a pervasive misery. Okay? Very important to recognize it, and we will see now what is that misery exactly. And that misery, which is universal, is the bondage of karma. Okay? So let's see. So, first of all, what is karma? Karma is the law of action and reaction, which simply says that for every positive action we perform, which means good-willed action, we will reap a happy result, fortunate result, pleasant result, conducive result, desirable result. Things will go well for us. Okay? In some way. Physically will be good, emotionally will be good, mentally will be good, things in life will be good for us. We will have, like green light wave, So this is called punya. Punya means merits. These are the results of positive actions we have done in the past. So the doctrine of karma says, all your fortunate experiences in life, on all levels, physically, your health, the strength of your body, whatever good things you have in your body, whatever good faculties you have in your mind, whatever stability you have in your mind, whatever good things you have in your life, this is all because of the results of actions you have done in the past. Okay? As you sow, so shall you reap. This is the idea. Then, the results of negative actions we have done in the past is what we call papa, which comes as dukkha. Dukkha means suffering. So, whatever unfortunate things we have in life, and this is universal, everyone has. So there are certain aches and pains in our body, there are certain weaknesses in our body, there are certain imbalances in our mind, some emotional pains, some all sorts of weird thinking, all this type of things which induce pain in our life, physically, emotionally, mentally, and external circumstances which are not conducive for us. Okay, so whatever they may be, are the results of our own past negative actions. Again, this is universal. Everyone has that. Okay? So this is karma. Karma means that as we go through life, we are exhausting our prarabdha karma, which means we are exhausting the fruits of our past actions. This is what the law of karma explains to us. All the experiences we go through in life are the results of our own doing. Primarily not in this body, in previous bodies. Okay? This is the idea. So this is karma. What is the bondage of karma? You see, so karma means that because all of us have positive and negative actions, and therefore all of us have positive and negative results, it means that universally we experience the world, because the nature of the experience of the world is karmic results. Therefore, universally everyone will experience the world as a world of duality: pleasure and pain, success and failure, victory and defeat, gain and loss, health and disease, happiness and misery, etc., etc., etc. You understand? Everyone universally will go through what the yogis call the pairs of opposites. These pairs of opposites are unavoidable. They cannot be eliminated because they are the results of actions that were done previously. There is nothing to do about them. These are arrows which are already shot. It's just a matter of time until they reach the target. You understand? That's the meaning. So, of course, there is a lot that we can do in order to work with these things, but they will come. That's the meaning. So pairs of opposites, the dual nature of the world is natural and unavoidable, universally. Doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, how much power you have, how much fame you have, how strong is your body, how strong is your mind. Pairs of opposites will be very present in your life. Guaranteed. You understand? Because it's universal. It's the nature of karma. So this is very important to understand. What is the bondage of karma? The bondage of karma is that because we experience ourselves to be limited beings due to what the yogis call ignorance, we are ignorant of our true nature. That's the meaning. Okay, so the analogy that the yogis give is the space and the vessel, the pot. Right? This is the analogy that they give. Space is all pervading, but it seems like it's limited inside the bottle. Right? It seems that I have space inside the bottle. Actually, the bottle exists in space. So there is no space which is inside or limited in the bottle. You understand? Space is all pervading. Space is not limited by the bottle. The bottle exists in space. You understand? But there is an appearance. If you open the bottle, you will see there is an appearance of a limited space in the bottle. That's an appearance. There is no such limited space. In the same way, the yogis teach, the I am, the self, is an all-pervading reality. It's not limited by the body and the mind. There is an appearance of limitation due to ignorance of the true nature of the I am. Just like we are ignorant of the true nature of space, we perceive it to be limited. We are ignorant of the true nature of the I am, the self. And we think I am Swami Brahmananda. Okay? And you think I am whoever, right? Whatever your bottle is. Okay? This is the idea. You understand? So my bottle is like this. See? Okay? And you have your bottle. Okay? And the idea is that the I am identifies with the physical characteristics and the mental characteristics. You understand? And then you think I am this person. So this is called ignorance. Because we experience ourselves being ignorant and limited, we have two very powerful forces in the mind which are called raga and dvesha. Raga means attractions, dvesha means aversions. Meaning, whenever we see something which is pleasing, which we think is going to give us happiness, immediately we desire it. Okay? This is called attraction, raga. Okay? Whenever we see something which we interpret as painful, it's going to inflict some form of pain on us, we have aversion. We want to move away from it. Okay? So naturally, we are attracted towards the pleasant, and we have aversion towards the unpleasant, which means we are impacted, we are conditioned, we are emotionally afflicted by pleasant and unpleasant things. You understand? Okay? But the pleasant and unpleasant things will always come. These are the pairs of opposites. See, we will always experience the pairs of opposites. And they are always going to afflict us emotionally. You understand? This is called the bondage of karma. The bondage of karma is that the pairs of opposites will definitely be there. We are conditioned to desire the pleasant and to hate or have fear from the unpleasant, and therefore we will be in constant misery, basically. Temporarily, when we get the pleasant, we feel very happy, but it's going away very, very, very soon. Okay? This is the idea. Okay? So therefore, basically, if we don't understand what this bondage of karma is, we will constantly be falling into this trap of trying to hold on to the pleasant, which is impossible, and trying to push away the unpleasant, which will also be impossible, because both of them are natural. You understand? So this is called the bondage of karma. And this bondage of karma is the misery of samsara. It's the misery of this life. Okay, so attraction towards the pleasant and aversion towards the unpleasant. You see? Now, see, the moment we desire a pleasant object, what will happen? See, it's very beautiful to understand. See, the moment we desire a pleasant object, what will happen? So first of all, so let's see. It's very beautiful. While we desire the object and we don't have it, are we happy? No. No, that's a state of misery. Now, then there can be two options. Either you will get the object or you will not get the object. Right? So let's see both options. Okay? So let's say that you do get the object. Okay? If you do get the object, see, the moment you get the object of your desire, what happens? You are happy, right? So for that time you are happy. Now, the desire that forced you to act to possess the object, is it fulfilled? Is the desire fulfilled? See, temporarily it becomes dormant, right? But you see, let's say the object is a chocolate ice cream. See, why do you desire a chocolate ice cream? What's the reason? Past experience, right? So we have impression in our mind, memory, of the pleasant experience connected with chocolate ice cream. You understand? That pleasant experience generates an attachment. The attachment generates cravings. You understand? So we want more. Okay? Now, when you experience the chocolate ice cream again, what happens to the impression from where the desire came? You see, the impression was chocolate ice cream is tasty, it's good. Now the impression is chocolate ice cream is indeed good, right? There is more reinforcement. You understand? The more you repeat it, the stronger the impression will be in your mind. Therefore, although temporarily the desire becomes dormant because you have the object, actually the desire becomes stronger, because the deeper the impression is, the greater momentum the desire will have. You understand? The more you repeat it, the more you will become addicted to the object, basically. Okay? So, therefore, even when you get the object of your desire, actually you are setting yourself for more suffering, because desire is suffering. Now, not only that, you see, you have your object of desire. Okay. Then what? See, the moment you get the object of your desire, what happens? You see, let's say, let's say there are very nice kids in the neighborhood. They always play very nicely with the ball outside in the street, and you always like to sit in the window and watch them play with the ball. And then you got this beautiful new car, and it's parking outside the street, right? And then, as you hear the ball of the children, you say, oh, these nice children, yeah, they are again playing with the ball, right? And then suddenly you realize, where is the ball going to end up, right? On my car, right? Immediately you go to the window, you shout on the children to go away, right? So, see, the moment you get the object of your desire, what happens? Fear. The fear of losing the object will immediately begin to operate in your mind. You understand? Why are you afraid to lose the object? Because you will. Okay. So, you see, so even if you get the object of your desire, you didn't eliminate suffering. You understand? Suffering is very much there. So this is if you get the object. If you get the object, you end up with stronger desires and fears. Now, what happens if you didn't get the object of your desire? Okay, let's see, maybe this is better, right? So, right, if you didn't get the object of your desire, first of all, you have the desire, which is grinding your mind. That's one thing. Second thing, the moment you see someone else that has the object that you desire, what happens? Jealousy comes. Okay? Then you see, there is a person that you think is in your way to get the object of your desire. What happens then? You hate that person. That's your enemy. You understand? So the point is that the moment we go for this running after the objects, running after pleasant situations in life, we don't understand, but we are setting ourselves up for incessant misery. You understand? Doesn't matter which direction you will go. There are painful emotions that are going to operate in your mind. You understand? That's all it is. This is this bondage of karma. That we think that manipulating the pairs of opposites, that my life is going to be purely pleasant. It's just a matter of effort. You see? How do you know? You see the advertisements. In the advertisement, the person stands beside the washing machine and they have a very big smile, right? If I will have such a washing machine, I will also have such a big smile. You see? Right? So the advertisement is the proof. If I get it, I'll be happy. You understand? So the point is that we think that the pairs of opposites are manipulatable. We can turn our life into purely pleasant life. We think like this. You understand? This thinking itself is a samsaric thinking. It will get us only deeper and deeper into the problem. Okay? Because it's not possible. So the only thing which is possible is we cannot remove the pairs of opposites, but we can learn to neutralize them. We can learn to live with the pairs of opposites, but that they will not impact us in a binding way as they do now. This we can do. Okay? We cannot remove them, but we can neutralize the binding effect they have on us. This we can do. Okay? So this is what Lord Krishna calls to break the bondage of karma. Okay, so, and karma yoga helps us to do this. So we will see how to do it in the coming lectures. So there is a lizard.